Namaskar, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. Thank you, sir.
So, Sridhar,
Yes,
you
sir.
have worked with companies like L&T, right?
Yes, sir.
L&T, and then Mahindra Educational
Yes.
Limited, as well as Talent Split.
Yes.
So, Talent Split is basically a skill development company.
Yes, sir. It's
Okay.
basically a tech company.
Okay. And what type of skills you impart to students there?
Mostly it is an tech company, sir. So the basic motto is to impart education to various type of candidates, like the banking candidates, the other exams like SSC and other exams. And also communication skills are also taken up. And also interpersonal skills also are taken up.
So, what were you teaching there?
I was teaching general awareness for banking students particularly. Yes.
And what was your role in L&T?
L&T, my role was as a design engineer. I worked for 2 years there. So my major role was to work for clients like Procter & Gamble and others. So where we used to design some 3D plants, manufacturing plants for those clients particularly.
So, are you part of that ECC division?
Not sir, I am part of L&T Technology Services,
L&T Technology Services.
L&T TS,
Okay, this is more to do with IT.
IT, yes.
And you mentioned here the design engineer.
Yes sir, yes.
So what brought you to this civil services field now?
Yes, sir, it was in 2014 actually. I encountered an incident actually. I'll take 2 minutes for this.
Yeah, please.
While I was going to my sister's house from Chennai to Hyderabad, I've seen an old person sleeping on the footpath actually. So I was in the bus. First I did not notice much. So later I was again returning back from my sister's house after some 3 to 4 days. Again he was sleeping at the same place. So I felt very bad and I gave some water. I got down the bus and gave some water to him and some fruits. And I've called to the nearby NGO also, like Helpage India. And they have come and took him away. So I thought I should prevent such incidents. Instead of complaining against the administration for their faults, I should have some my hand to prevent such incidents. So I thought civil services will give me some ample opportunity to do such service.
For that you can join a NGO also.
Yes sir, I felt the same. But NGO, the diversity given by NGO is very less because the NGOs may offer to serve the old age or children. But in civil services, you can work in various departments like health, education sector. All round administration can be taken. So I thought an NGO, I have to work on my own and there is no financial sustenance in that NGO. And I have to keep my finances from my pocket. And I thought I need a job which is to serve the people as well as I will get some money for that or salary for that. So I thought the civil services give me ample diversity to serve the society. So,
Have you seen Indian administrative service people?
yes.
You know, many of them behave as if they are puppets of the politicians.
Yes.
You know, they have to listen to political bosses all the time. So, do you think that by entering into Indian administrative service, you will be able to do whatever you are aiming at?
It depends on the person, sir. If you are honest from the day one itself, I think no one can touch you. No one can interfere your work. I'm on that opinion.
Can you explain something about the salient features of Indian new education policy?
Yes, sir. The new education policy 2020 was recommended by the Kasturi Rangan committee. So the main aim is to provide a holistic approach in the education, revamping the already older education policies. The first is to increase the GDP allocation or the contribution of education from 4% to 6% by 2030 itself. The second is to have a holistic model with 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, and instead of having the lower gross enrollment ratio in various things, they want to improve that also. At the secondary level, the gross enrollment ratio wants to be improved by 100% by 2030 itself. And the higher education, they want it to improve by 50% by 2035. And these are some of the important features.
So let me focus more on your optional subject, it's public
Yes.
administration.
Yes.
What do you understand by the term public administration? Let me start with basics.
Yes.
What do you understand by the term public administration?
Sir, public administration is nothing but to service to the people. If you go with the definition of the public administration, it means that it includes all those activities, legislature, executive, judiciary and other activities also, mainly for the enforcement of public policy. So the final goal is the national interest of the nation, that is public administration.
Is there a document in which the powers are demarcated for legislature, for executive and for judiciary? Is there a document in our country which all the three organs, they have to confine to this particular realm? Is there any document which suggests that?
Actually, in India, we don't have clear demarcation of powers, sir. We are like in US, we don't have clear separation of powers. Generally, powers are taken from the constitution itself, but the clear demarcation is not given anywhere.
For instance, I'll just give you a hypothetical case.
Yes.
You have been allotted or you have been designated as a collector for a particular district, assume. So in such a scenario, the government intended to acquire lands in the particular vicinity. So for one of its flagship programs, and the government has delegated a particular task to you. So you have followed the process or the law or procedure as contemplated in the Act. So then the owners of the particular land, they were hell-bent in parting away with their lands. So they approached the court of competent jurisdiction for necessary redressal. And upon the hearing of these individuals, so the court has granted an interim order in their favor not to vacate them from their particular lands.
Yes.
But the political duress on you is to that extent that they want you to go ahead and find means to vacate the individuals from that particular residents of or occupiers of that particular land. So what is the procedure we adopt and how will you follow the diktats of the political class? Otherwise, what would be the outcome?
Sir, as the court has given the orders, interim orders to stop the process, so first I will go to the court orders because the courts are the highest for me. So first I will go to the court orders, then based upon the political orders, I will first discuss with the locals what are the actual problems, if they want more money or if they are concerned with their lands actually or they are emotionally attached with their lands, we can deal with that. Or if they want more money than the actual prescribed amount by the government, I'll also talk with the governments also, so that we can get a mediation between those people.
Now, how you convince your ministry
Yes.
to not to go ahead with the proposal after subsequent to the court's order?
Okay, sir.
What would you say to the government
Yes.
to convince them that not to compel you to go with the acquisition,
Yes.
proceed with the acquisition rather?
Sir, I will talk with my senior officials and the government officials.
What you say, that's what I'm asking. What you say in such a scenario, what you say? Because the reason why I'm asking you this question is your optional is a public administration.
Yes.
You are supposed to know this.
Yes. Sir.
It is basics of this.
Yes. Sir, I will go for integration. Whenever there is a conflict between the two, I will go for integration under the model of Mary Parker Follett. She says that in integration model, no one will lose on both the sides, so that they come to a conclusion actually. So I will go for the integration model. I will try to convince, saying that they want some more money, or if they are not convinced, I will say that at least give some more money, at least 1 or 2 lakh and more like that, and convince the government to get some more money for them for the locals.
For instance, assume, just to ask you a hypothetical case, let us assume their interest is not in monetary terms. Their interest is attached to their land. They don't want to part away with their land. In such a case, what? Then they have a court order in their favor. In such a case, how you convince or how you prevail upon or how you persuade the ruling dispensation not to go ahead or proceed with the acquisition?
I will tell the government officials, because already there is court order. Because if we go for the against the court order, there will be contempt of court.
correct, yes.
Yes, sir. So that's why I will say that if we go against them, one day we will again be moved because truth prevails. So
Certainly, delegated legislation, on the concept of delegated legislation. What do you understand by this term? And did this particular did this constitution sanction the delegated legislation or not? Is my question. Two questions. What is delegated legislation? Did the constitution, which is a grand norm, sanction the practice of delegated legislation or not? Very simple.
the practice of delegated legislation means the giving away the powers or authority to the lower authorities by the higher authorities to frame some laws or rules or bylaws.
Giving away or delegating?
Giving away powers, sir, some powers to make some laws.
That's what
Okay,
he
oh
meant.
yeah, okay.
Not full powers, but some powers to make some rules or bylaws for the the authorities under the higher authorities. The constitution, in terms of we have a president rule. In president rule, there is a type of delegated legislation. Not exclusively mentioned, but the powers can be given during some times of emergency like that.
Article 13,
Yes, sir. 13 is also can be given.
that speak about bylaws, GOs and all.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So it's sanctioned.
Comes under the state. Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Please stay.
What is the importance of Hindu Kush mountains in the context of medieval invasions
Yes.
and even ancient for that matter?
Yes. The Hindu Kush mountains is the geopolitical region. It is part of the almost at the end of the Asia, sir. The Tibetan plateau is also placed in the Hindu Kush region. In the medieval age, particularly the Sindh region was attacked by the Islamic rulers first.
Who?
Muhammad bin Qasim
Okay.
in 712 AD he has attacked the Sindh region and entered into the Sindh region of Hindu Kush mountains. There he
What was his ethnicity?
his ethnicity was Turkish
Arab.
Arab. Yes.
Go ahead, go ahead.
So he entered the Hindu Kush region first. Later others followed like Gori, Ghazni, etc. And the total Turkish and Mughal rulers have come to India and they have established their empire.
Okay, what are the problems faced by police families?
Yes.
Police officers, what problems they face, everybody knows.
Yes.
What are the problems faced by police families?
As a son of police constable, I have seen the real problems, sir, in my family. First is there are no fixed hours. They have to work 24/7 because they are the officers in attendance first. For every meeting or for anything happens in the society, the first person will be the police. So there are no fixed hours in the system first. The second is the lack of facilities. Sometimes they lack minimum facilities in rural areas or hilly regions, etc.
With your knowledge in public administration, how are you going to solve these problems?
The first is in terms of rest. There may be a one-day week holiday, etc. like that. And some states are giving like that. Telangana has also come up. And in terms of traffic police, there is a 30% risk allowance and weekly off like that. And housing facilities for them.
How about stress? There are a lot of suicides in the
Yes.
rank and file of police.
Yes.
What is your prescription to counter that?
In my opinion, they must be given some counseling, sir. First is the stress must be avoided by giving some weekly off. The second is to give some counseling, like mental counseling with psychiatrists or etc. like that, to share their problems, what is happening with them.
Is any state doing it?
I'm not exclusively aware of the name.
Kerala is doing it.
Thank you.
Kerala police is doing it. Right from the DGP to the rank and file, everybody, they have to attend counseling once every 2 months or something. Once every month or 2 months.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Sridhar,
Yes.
can you tell a poem that you have written in Telugu?
Yes, sir. The first I have written is గాలికి ఉందా కులము నీళ్లకు ఉందా మతము చెట్టుకు లేదు ఏ అభిమతము మరి మనుషుల మధ్య ఎందుకు ఈ తారతమ్యము Does air has caste? Does water has religion? Does tree has preferences? Then why does we humans have differences?
That is your own writing?
Yes.
Yes. So, what was this Nerala controversy from your district, Sirsilla?
Nerala yes, it was a Dalit issue. I am not fully aware of that, so
Yes.
I am to comment on that. I am unable to recall it now.
Yes, that is Dalit issue, right?
Yes.
So, from your district, Karimnagar, Karimnagar is meant for granite.
Yes, sir. City
What
of
is the major variety of granite that is found in Karimnagar district?
Sir, it is Ton Brown, sir.
Tan brown.
Ton Brown and Maple Red and others also.
Yes. Any other particular item that was recognized throughout India, like GI tag product of Karimnagar?
Silver filigree.
What is the importance? What is the special of it?
Yes, sir. Silver filigree is an ornamental work. Mostly we make some animal figures, peacock or some gift items made from the ornamental work. Mostly the items are dipped into the silver and made.
Actually, silver filigree is meant for Kathak of Odisha, I think.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, what is the difference between Odisha silver filigree and Karimnagar silver filigree?
Actually, I am not aware.
Yes.
I'll know about it.
Fine. So, actually, silver filigree from Karimnagar is exclusively meant on animal like birds. Yeah, that is important.
Thank you.
Yes, fine.
So you did a course on IMF certification course on financial development and financial institutions. Right?
Yes.
So can you give some insights on Grameen model
Grameen.
from Bangladesh?
It's a Grameen Bank.
Yeah.
It was started under the Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus actually. It's mainly a microfinance institution formed under the grouping of various women to make them socially empowered and in terms of finances and in terms of livelihood. So mainly it is a microfinance institution. So it is like our self-help groups in India. So they form some groups and gather and they pool their financial resources either to start an own business or to take up some loans for themselves for their personal purposes, and it has good results.
Can you compare between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka in the present context? Why they are in news?
Sir, in Sri Lanka is because of the economic crisis, it is in news, sir. And Bangladesh, not sure of the exact situation, but it may be because of the communal issues, I am thinking.
So communal issues are in rise in Bangladesh, like that.
Yes, sir.
So can you name some of the important temples that are situated in your district?
Yes, sir. The first is Kondagattu Hanuman temple, and due to bifurcation we have lost some temples like Vemulavada temple that went under Jagityal, and we have Gidda Peramala temple for Lord Vishnu, and we have lost another temple called Kaleshwaram Lord Shiva temple. It is under Dharmapuri Jagityal itself.
So your optional is actually public administration, right? Can you name two important thinkers, Indian thinkers, who actually influenced the public administration?
So first is D.P. Dwivedi. D.P. Dwivedi has contributed for development administration, and second is I am unable to recall.
Okay. Do you know Kuldeep Nair?
Yes, sir. Famous journalist.
So can you tell about him?
Actually, he has contributed through his journals in the and he has also filed some bills in the Supreme Court. I am not fully aware about him.
In the context of public administration?
Actually, I am not aware of him.
Okay. Can you name any two institutions that are related to public administration and public policy in the country?
Yes, sir. One is Indian Institute of Public Administration. And the second is Administrative Staff College of India in Hyderabad also. We have it.
Sridhar,
Yes, sir.
you said that in your poem
Yes.
regarding you mentioned about caste, religion and all.
Yes.
What is the difference between caste and Varna?
Varna is a fourfold classification of general classification of society based on the occupation, sir. And caste is a social stratification of a religion actually. It may be in any religion. It exists in Islam, it exists in Hinduism, it exists in Christianity.
So Varna is more fluid than caste, can we say?
It's fluid means, sir.
Matlab the mobility is much easier in Varna system rather than in caste system.
I am not fully aware of that. Can't comment on that.
Okay, overall your grooming is good. Why did you start with namaste and not good afternoon or something?
Indian tradition.
Okay, good. So there might be some questions. Why namaste?
Yes.
What is the origin of namaste? So what different people say, different parts of the country. Some say namaskar, namaste, namaskaram, vanakkam. Okay, different. Around that there could be. You can expect questions.
Sure.
Okay, but generally what you do is you first of all wish the chairman, the lady member,
Sure.
if a lady member is available, and then the other members just by looking at them. Good afternoon, sir, or namaste, sir.
Sure.
Okay. See, there are certain things. When is your interview?
It's on 18th of April.
18th of April. Actually, another initial you started several times. You started using it. Actually, is a filler. When we don't know something, we say actually these are fillers.
Yes, sir.
So that is better avoided. And you all through the interview maintained a very serious face. There is no smile. It doesn't seem like you were relaxed. మీరు రిలాక్స్ అయినట్టు లేకపోతే తెలిసిన ఆన్సర్ అయినా కానీ కూడా తెలిసిన కాన్ఫిడెన్స్తో చెప్పినట్టు ఏం లేదు. You are as if it's very serious. The face is very serious. So generally, in order to evoke some interest in what you are saying, కొంచెం ఇంటోనేషన్తో చెప్తుండాలి.
Okay.
If you want to emphasize on certain point, కొంచెం వాయిస్ ఇంక్రీజ్ చేయాలి. కొంచెం ups and downs ఉంటే even the members will pay attention to it.
Yes.
Otherwise, last time also I told somebody like Mahesh Babu, ఒకటే టోన్లో మోనోటోన్లో చెప్పుకుంటూ వెళ్ళిపోతే people will lose interest.
Yes.
Okay, we see Mahesh Babu because he's a pretty face.
Yes.
I'm not saying that you are a pretty face too. You have groomed yourself well, but the thing is one needs to have that intonation and everything.
I'll improve.
Smile like a podam, and certain answers sounded very naive.
Okay.
ఓకే, అంటే ఫినెస్ లేకుండా కొంచెం నైవ్గా చెప్పినట్టు అనిపించింది అనమాట. టు వాట్ క్వశ్చన్ ఐఎమ్ నాట్ ఏబుల్ టు రీకాల్, బట్ ఒక పర్టికులర్ క్వశ్చన్ అడిగినప్పుడు యూ సెడ్ సివిల్ సర్వెంట్స్ ఆర్ యాక్టింగ్ ఎస్ పపెట్స్ అని అడిగినప్పుడు ఇట్ డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ ది ఇండివిజువల్. ఇఫ్ యూ రైట్ ఫ్రమ్ ద బిగినింగ్ వీ లుక్ కాన్ఫిడెంట్గా,
Yes.
సో ఆర్ వీ లుక్ ఆనెస్ట్ అండ్ సిన్సియర్. You try to, because you come from public administration background, a little more give a theoretical background. ఒక థింకర్ గురించి,
Sure.
ఓకే, సో థింకర్ గురించి చెప్పడమో లేకపోతే దాని మీద జరిగిన స్టడీస్ గురించి కోట్ చేయడమో. అఫ్ కోర్స్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అన్ ఇవాల్యుయేషన్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ పర్సనాలిటీ ఆల్సో, బట్ మోర్ ఇంపార్టెంట్లీ ద ఇంటర్వ్యూ బోర్డ్ విషెస్ టు నో హౌ యు ఆర్ వెల్ ఇన్ఫార్మ్డ్, హౌ వెల్ యు ఆర్ ఇన్ఫార్మ్డ్. ఓకే, సో రాదర్ దెన్ జస్ట్ గోయింగ్ జనరిక్గా ఆన్సర్ మేబీ నా పర్సనల్ ఇదే చెప్తున్నాను అన్నట్టు కాకుండా, పర్సనల్ చెప్పినా కానీ యూ కెన్ టేక్ రెఫరెన్స్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ పబ్లిక్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ థింకర్స్ ఆర్ పొలిటికల్ సైన్స్ ఆర్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ రిలేటెడ్ రెఫరెన్స్ ఇచ్చి యూ కెన్ సే. ఓకే, దట్స్ మై అబ్జర్వేషన్.
Observation is, so I have given a hypothetical case before you.
Yes.
So you are expected to respond to that hypothetical case.
Yes.
So you would have told me, once when a court order is given, obviously everyone
Everyone has to follow that.
has to follow it.
Yes.
Instead of, I tried to grill you on it.
Yes.
You should have told, I have to explain to the minister concerned
Yes.
about the court's order, and obviously has to follow it.
Yes.
It can be more like, instead of taking a kind of a defensive role, you would have told me that it's a court's order, we will follow it. And I would have told the minister the same.
Yes.
Otherwise it would amount to a contempt of the court, which I need to face, not the minister concerned. So obviously it's my responsibility, onus squarely lies on me to inform him. Certainly I will do it. You would have been more authoritative. If you study a particular subject like public administration as an optional, you are expected to be authoritative.
Sure.
You are not expected to be a submissive person. And specifically when the court order strengthens your hands,
Yes.
when it strengthens your hands, you need to be more authoritative. You may not be submissive or sober. So that's the point you need to understand. And delegated legislation, because I'm just referring to the topics or subjects you have as part of your optional.
Yes.
Delegated legislation, yes, rightly mentioned, whether you have to connect it to the constitution.
Sure.
Because even if you make a rule, delegated legislation is nothing but rule making power. A rule making power, if not given by the statute, or if the statute is not empowered by the constitution, such a rule making power itself will be thrown out of the window.
Yes.
So you need to understand that the rule making power also has its genesis in the constitution, and which article of the constitution I can relate to.
Yes.
is the point you need to understand. So Article 13 specifically and explicitly says that. It explicitly says by law, order, everything is a law, and therefore delegate legislation is sanctioned by the Constitution, which is the grand norm. So you have to said it. So be authoritative instead of being more submissive. Be authoritative, and specifically when there is a favorable order in your favorable order which you can rely upon. Okay, thank you.
One big point is, the entire discussion, you
Yes.
can actually drive through these 3 companies that you have worked.
Yes.
L&T, you can talk, about ours actually,
Yes.
our Talent Sprint, our Mahindra, education institutions, and that type of things. Because most of the courses may come in that
Sure.
category, so try to learn more about these companies.
Sure. Thank you.
సో మీరు యాక్చువల్లీ ఫ్యాకల్టీగా కూడా చేసినట్టున్నారు.
అవును సార్.
సో వై యు ఆర్ వెరీ స్ట్రిక్ట్ అండ్ యు ఆర్ కీపింగ్ యువర్ హ్యాండ్స్ ఆన్ జస్ట్ యువర్ జస్ట్ ఇన్ వన్ పొజిషన్ యు కెన్ యూజ్ యువర్ హ్యాండ్స్ రైట్ అంటే కొంచెం అట్లీస్ట్ ఫర్ సమ్ టైమ్. సో యు ఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ వెరీ గుడ్ కంటెంట్. డెలివరీ దగ్గర కొంచెం యూ కెన్
షూర్ సార్.
కొంచెం స్మైల్ కొంచెం ఇస్తే కనుక ఇట్ విల్ బి
ఐ విల్ ఇంప్రూవ్ సార్. థ్యాంక్
Yeah, so everything is fine.
యూ. Yes.
Please focus on some controversy issues from your place,
Sure.
like Nerala issue, because they are the questions that may be asking.
మీకు తెలుసా నిరల్ ఇష్యూ గురించి తెలుసు అనుకుంటా.
జరిగింది సార్.
జరిగింది, దాని డీటెయిల్స్ కూడా తెలుసు.
ఎగ్జాక్ట్గా ప్రజెంట్ చేయలే, అంటే 1-2 years బ్యాక్ జరిగింది సార్. ఎగ్జాక్ట్ డీటెయిల్స్ గుర్తులేవని అలా
I
చెప్పాను.
represented one of the victims in the court and the High Court.
Yes, sir.
Nerala issue. I went to that particular place also.
Okay, sir.
Spoken to the victims తో మాట్లాడాను నేను. I have represented one of the victims before the High Court.
Okay, sir. Okay.
From
You are
Telangana
expected to know
district.
it's a
Yeah.
Sure.
నేనే ఎనీహౌ ఇట్స్ ఎ కాంట్రవర్షియల్ థింగ్
I know about
డెఫినెట్లీ.
it, but full details are not known, so that's why I did not.
నేనే వాట్ ఐ ఫెల్ట్ వాజ్ తెలిసినా కానీ మేబీ ఇట్ కుడ్ టర్న్ కాంట్రవర్షియల్, బోర్డ్ ఇంకా ఎక్కువ క్వశ్చన్ అడుగుతారేమో అని చెప్పి యువర్ ట్రైంగ్ టు అవాయిడ్ అని అనిపించింది. దట్స్ ఆల్సో గుడ్ స్ట్రాటజీ. There is nothing harm.
ఫుల్గా డీటెయిల్స్ తెలియదు సార్. యాక్చువల్లీ సర్పంచ్ ద్వారా ఏదో జరుగుతుంది, వాళ్ళు ఏదో దళితుల్ని సర్పంచ్ ఏదో అంటారు. సో వాళ్ళు
నేను మీకు చెప్తా. It will escalate passions unwantedly.
I don't know the full
I'll
details.
speak to you after this particular session is done.
That's why I did not comment on that.
They have been falsely implicated in cases.
Yes, sir. Yes.
They are victimized and they are falsely implicated in cases. I argued for them, so I know that facts of the case.
అదర్వైజ్ మీ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ మీరు చూపించాలి.
Sure.
ఓకే,
Sure.
యు ఆర్ కాన్ఫిడెంట్లీ ఆన్సరింగ్, అది అర్థమవుతుంది. బట్ మోనోటోన్లో వెళ్ళిపోవడము అండ్ యు ఆర్ నాట్ షోయింగ్ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్, ఫేస్లో స్మైల్, దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్. ఐఎమ్ నాట్ సేయింగ్ దట్ టూ మచ్ ఫేక్ చేయండి అని చెప్పట్లేదు. బట్ వెన్ యూ ఆర్ రిలాక్స్డ్ అండ్ హ్యావింగ్ అ కాన్వర్జేషన్, డెఫినెట్లీ యుల్ హ్యావ్ అ సర్టన్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ స్మైల్.
Yes.
ఒక జెంటిల్ నార్మల్ స్మైల్ వస్తుంది.
Yes.
Like you're sitting and having a conversation, let's say with your senior officers in your the company that you work, maybe your CEO or somebody. No sir, it's like that అని చెప్పి you confidently చెప్తారు. ఇంకా ఫ్రీజ్ అయిపోయి ఇట్లానే ఉండి మరీ అంత ఉండాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. సో యూ నీడ్ టు వర్క్ ఆన్ దట్. మిర్రర్ వర్క్ ఎక్కువ చేయండి. అండ్ యూ కెన్ హ్యావ్ పీపుల్ లైక్ మాక్ ఇంటర్వ్యూస్లో కూడా చెప్పచ్చు, ఆర్ యూ కెన్ హ్యావ్ పీపుల్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ యూ పర్సనలీ అండ్ దే విల్ ఆల్సో గైడ్ యూ. Okay, but please do improve on that.
Sure, sir. I'll improve.
Right?
Note it down.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.